Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from NFL News Now. All right, folks, buckle up because we've got to talk about Dak Prescott, Brian Schottenheimer, and what's shaping up to be one of the most fascinating storylines in the NFL this season. You know when a coach steps up to the mic after a big win, and you can just tell there's more than just the usual, "We played hard, proud of the guys," kind of talk coming? That was exactly the vibe this Sunday after the Dallas Cowboys put the New York Jets to bed with a convincing 37-22 victory. But what made headlines wasn't just the score, it was what the Cowboys head coach, Brian Schottenheimer, said afterward. He didn't just compliment Dak Prescott. He practically crowned him one of the best in the league. "I think we're spoiled. I think he's one of the best players in the league," Schottenheimer told reporters, his tone half admiration, half disbelief, like a man who knows he's sitting on a golden ticket and can't quite believe his luck. And that, my friends, is the kind of talk that stirs up waves across the NFL landscape. Dak Prescott, the man at the center of it all, didn't just play quarterback. He orchestrated a symphony of precision, poise, and power. Completing 18 of 29 passes for 237 yards and 4 touchdowns, he looked like the Dak of old. The one who could take command of a game with quiet authority and break it open with just a flick of his wrist. He didn't just sit back and toss from the pocket either. He used his legs, too, scrambling for 28 yards on 7 carries, reminding everyone that his game isn't just about throwing. It's about movement, timing, and instinct. This wasn't some stat-padding performance. It was a complete display of leadership. And you could feel that Schottenheimer knew exactly what he had on his hands, a franchise quarterback playing with fire in his eyes and ice in his veins. Now, think about this. The Cowboys, sitting at 2-1, are finding their rhythm again, and at the center of it is Prescott, who's been nothing short of electric since returning from that nasty hamstring injury that cost him half of last season. Through the first 4 games, Dak had already completed nearly 73% of his passes. That's right, 73%, for 1,119 yards, 6 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. That's efficiency, accuracy, and composure rolled into one. And when you listen to Schottenheimer talk about Dak, it's not just about numbers. It's about presence. It's about how he sets the tone in the huddle, how he communicates at the line of scrimmage, how he seems to see things before they happen. That's the stuff coaches live for. A quarterback who doesn't just execute the plan, but elevates it. There's something deeper going on here, too. You can sense that Schottenheimer genuinely believes this team, this organization, this city, they might just be taking Dak for granted. When he says, "We're spoiled," that's not a throwaway line. That's a statement loaded with truth. Because let's be real, Cowboys fans have always had sky-high expectations for whoever wears the star. And Dak, ever since he stepped into the starting role as a rookie back in 2016, has carried that weight with grace. But you look around the league and realize just how rare it is to have a quarterback who can do what Dak does: command respect in the locker room, execute under pressure, and bring stability to a franchise that has seen its fair share of chaos. Dallas, in a way, really is spoiled. But what makes this moment even more fascinating is the timing. This wasn't just any game. This was Dak facing the New York Jets, a team he hadn't seen since 2019, a game he still remembers vividly. Back then, the Cowboys were supposed to roll, and instead, they fell flat against a winless Jets squad. That loss lingered. Dak even mentioned before the game how important it was not to overlook anyone, how being the Cowboys means you've always got a target on your back. Every other team is going to find a way to hype themselves up a little bit more because it's the Cowboys, he said. And he's right. That star on the helmet isn't just a logo. It's a challenge to every opponent to bring their absolute best. Dak's message to his teammates was clear: play with energy, start fast, and never assume a win. On Sunday, they did exactly that. And man, did Dak have that right energy he talked about. You could feel it from the opening drive. The confidence, the rhythm, the command, it was all there. The ball was coming out quick, the reads were sharp, and every drive felt purposeful. This wasn't a quarterback hoping to make something happen. This was a quarterback dictating the flow of the game. Even the Jets' defense, which has been one of the tougher units to crack this season, looked a step slow against Dak's tempo. He picked them apart with short passes early, drew the safeties in, and then unleashed those crisp intermediate throws that sliced through the coverage. By the time the fourth quarter rolled around, it was clear who the better quarterback on the field was, and it wasn't close. What makes this story so compelling is the arc. Dak Prescott's journey has never been a straight line. From being a fourth-round pick out of Mississippi State to becoming the face of the Dallas Cowboys, to suffering injuries that could have derailed his career, to now being at the center of an MVP and comeback player of the year conversation, it's cinematic. He's always been that guy who doesn't let setbacks define him. And now, at 31 years old, he's not just playing great football, he's playing the best football of his life. The chemistry with his receivers is evident. The timing with C.D. Lamb and Brandon Cooks is sharp, and his decision-making has matured to the point where he's making complex plays look effortless. Brian Schottenheimer, a coach who's been around elite quarterbacks, from Drew Brees to Russell Wilson, doesn't throw around praise lightly. So when he says Dak's one of the best, that carries weight. It's a statement from someone who's seen what greatness looks like up close. And it also speaks to the culture Dallas is building. Schottenheimer and Dak seem to share a mutual understanding, a trust that allows the offense to thrive. There's a calmness to their dynamic, a sense that they're speaking the same football language. That's not something you can fake. That's earned through reps, through film sessions, through shared goals. The Cowboys' locker room, too, is feeding off that energy. Players have talked about how Dak's leadership is contagious, how his preparation sets the standard for everyone else. When your quarterback is the hardest worker in the building, it raises the bar. And right now, that's what we're seeing. This team is responding to him. You can tell by the way they come out of the gate, the way they execute in critical moments, and the way they celebrate every big play together. There's unity, there's trust, and there's belief, all stemming from their QB1. Now, of course, in Dallas, the conversation always circles back to legacy. It's impossible not to. Every quarterback who wears that star is inevitably compared to the legends, to Aikman, Staubach, Romo. But here's the thing. Dak doesn't seem interested in those comparisons anymore. He's carving out his own narrative, one built on resilience and quiet determination. And if this level of play continues, he won't just be in the MVP conversation. He'll be redefining what it means to be the quarterback of America's team. Think about it. If Dak can keep up this pace, the accuracy, the leadership, the wins, we could be looking at one of those special seasons that define a career. And yes, maybe it's early, but the signs are there. The offense is balanced, the coaching staff believes in him, and Schottenheimer's comments only amplify the confidence rippling through the organization. The Cowboys, for once, aren't just talking about potential, they're realizing it. So, when Brian Schottenheimer says the Cowboys are spoiled by Dak Prescott, maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe it's a reminder to appreciate greatness while it's right in front of us. Because the truth is, players like Dak don't come around often. Quarterbacks who can take the hits, shoulder the criticism, and still lead with conviction, that's rare. And right now, in Dallas, that's exactly what's happening. Dak Prescott isn't just back. He's better, sharper, and more determined than ever. And if the Cowboys keep feeding off that energy, the rest of the league better start paying attention. Because this version of Dak, he's not just playing the game, he's redefining it. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. Chaos has officially taken over the NFL, and if you thought the league had seen it all, think again. Rumors are swirling, whispers are turning into loud conversations, and the latest bombshell is shaking fans, analysts, and insiders to their core. The highly anticipated showdown between the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears, a game that many were already circling as one of the most intense clashes of the season, has now been canceled. That's right, completely canceled. And the reasons behind it are sending shockwaves through locker rooms, offices, and living rooms across the nation. Sources hint at what the league is calling severe irregularities. And while the NFL has yet to release an official, fully detailed statement, the implications are staggering. People are talking about unprecedented breaches of protocol, mysterious discrepancies in team operations, and even whispers of internal investigations that could take months, if not years, to resolve fully. The timing is chaotic in itself. This was supposed to be a pivotal game that could shape playoff trajectories. Yet now, all of that hangs in the balance as fans are left scratching their heads and speculating wildly about what actually went down. Insiders are saying that the league didn't take this decision lightly. We're talking about a move that could have massive ramifications, not just for the teams involved, but for the NFL as a whole. Imagine a world where a marquee matchup between two of the league's most storied franchises doesn't happen, where ticket holders, sponsors, and broadcasters are left scrambling. That's exactly the scenario that's unfolding right now. Reports suggest that the issues aren't minor violations like a few misplaced documents or scheduling conflicts. Instead, we're hearing about things that could compromise the integrity of the game itself. Some sources have gone as far as hinting at potential player eligibility problems, questionable adherence to league rules, and even potential breaches in security or operational standards. If any of that turns out to be true, it's not just a canceled game. It's a crisis that could redefine how the league operates moving forward. The reaction from fans has been, predictably, explosive. Social media platforms are ablaze with theories, memes, and outrage. Cowboys fans are furious, pointing fingers at what they see as mismanagement and a lack of transparency. Bears fans are equally incensed, demanding answers and accountability while grappling with the disappointment of a missed opportunity to see their team compete in what was supposed to be a defining matchup. Analysts are stepping cautiously, trying to parse the information that has leaked without the benefit of official confirmation, and speculation is running wild. Could this be a hint of deeper systemic issues within the league? Is this just a one-off anomaly? Or are we witnessing the first visible cracks in what has long been considered one of the most tightly run professional sports organizations in the world? The possibilities are endless, and the uncertainty is feeding the fire, making every conversation about the NFL suddenly feel like walking through a minefield of rumors and half-truths. Adding fuel to the fire, sources close to the teams are speaking on condition of anonymity, describing a situation that was out of control and spiraling even before league officials intervened. There are murmurs of internal disputes, alleged protocol violations during team operations, and even suggestions that some of the irregularities may involve technology, equipment, or game preparation in ways that fans don't even usually consider. It's enough to make anyone's head spin, and it raises the stakes exponentially. Imagine a league where what happens behind the scenes can suddenly override what happens on the field. This isn't just about wins and losses anymore. This is about accountability, transparency, and the integrity of one of America's most beloved sports. And with the league remaining tight-lipped, every new rumor that emerges only adds more layers to an already complex narrative. Even more intriguing are the whispers about how this decision might affect the rest of the season. If a game between the Cowboys and Bears can be canceled under these circumstances, could other games be at risk? Could other teams find themselves entangled in investigations or facing similar disruptions? Insiders are cautious, but cautious in a way that only heightens the drama, hinting that the ripple effects could extend far beyond the two teams directly involved. There are also questions about the potential legal ramifications, ticket refunds, contractual obligations with broadcasters, and the massive financial implications of a canceled game in a league that generates billions annually. Some analysts are already speculating that this could lead to a shakeup in league policies, stricter oversight, or even a reevaluation of how games are scheduled and monitored. The potential for change is enormous, and while some fans are reveling in the chaos, others are bracing for a long, drawn-out saga that could redefine the NFL landscape entirely. Meanwhile, the teams themselves are reportedly reeling. The Cowboys and Bears organizations are facing not only public scrutiny, but also internal pressure to clarify their roles in what's being called a severe lapse in operational standards. Coaching staff, management, and even some players are reportedly working to piece together exactly what went wrong, while league officials are closely monitoring every development. Some insiders suggest that internal memos and communications may eventually leak, which would only stoke the fire even further. Players are caught in the middle, balancing frustration with the need to focus on their performance and future games. Fans have understandably taken sides, with debates raging over social media about who, if anyone, is truly at fault. The narrative is far from settled, and every new rumor seems to raise more questions than answers. There's also the human element to consider. Imagine being a fan who bought tickets months in advance, who planned an entire weekend around this game, only to be told that it isn't happening. Imagine the disappointment, the Frustration, the sense of disbelief that a league as polished and professional as the NFL could face such a scenario. And now imagine being a player or coach who has meticulously prepared for weeks, only to have the game canceled due to circumstances outside your control. The emotional and psychological weight of such a disruption is enormous, and it's something that fans and analysts alike are just beginning to consider. Rumors about possible disciplinary actions or investigations into specific individuals are swirling, which adds another layer of tension. No one is safe from speculation, and the rumor mill is operating at full throttle. The bottom line is that the NFL has entered uncharted territory. A canceled Cowboys-Bears game is more than just an anomaly. It's a statement that the league is willing to take drastic measures when faced with irregularities that threaten the integrity of the sport. What those irregularities are, how they happened, and who is ultimately responsible remains shrouded in mystery. And that mystery is fueling every conversation, every headline, and every social media post about the situation. Fans, analysts, and insiders are watching closely, waiting for any scrap of information that could shed light on what might be the most shocking cancellation in modern NFL history. And while the league continues to maintain its silence, one thing is clear: the ripple effects of this decision will be felt for months, and possibly years, to come. This isn't just a canceled game. It's a full-blown narrative in motion, a story of chaos, accountability, and unprecedented drama that will dominate conversations in the sports world for the foreseeable future. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates, only here on NFL News Now.